Good evening and welcome to the meeting of the London Borough of Hammersmith and Fulham on 13th of April 2024. My name is Stephen Cowan. I'm the leader of the borough. I will go from my left to introduce the cabinet. Starting off, who I can see is Councillor Bora Kwan. Bora.
Present. Good evening.
Sorry, I'm not being introduced. I'm Councillor Wesley Harcourt, Cabinet Member for Climate Change and Ecology.
Councillor Sharon Holder, Cabinet Member for Public Realm.
Alex Anderson, Cabinet Member for Children and Education.
Hello everyone, Councillor Francis Ume, Cabinet Member for Housing and Homelessness.
Hi, I'm Ben Coleman. I'm the Deputy Leader and Cabinet Member for Health and Adult Social Care.
So right, we have...
Hello, I'm Councillor Rebecca Harvey, Cabinet Member for Social Inclusion and Community Safety.
And good evening, Councillor Rowan Ree, the Cabinet Member for Finance and Reform.
Okay, we're joined by Grant Degg, who is the Monitoring Officer and Borough Solicitor. And we're also joined by Sharon Lee, who is our Chief Executive. And we have here Councillor Adronny Alford from the opposition. So welcome, everybody. I will therefore move to the first item on the agenda, which is the minutes. And can I ask, has everyone had a chance to look at them?
Yes.
Are they agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Are there any apologies for absence?
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Jones, please note that. Any declarations of interest? Nope. In that case, please note that. Right, that takes us to the first item, which is decarbonisation of the council's non-domestic portfolio, approval of approach to contract awards. Over to you, Councillor Harcourt.
Thank you, Leader. This is actually a joint report between myself and Councillor Jones, who's the Cabinet Member for Economy. Basically, what this report seeks to do is to give delegated authority to the Strategic Director for Economy and the Strategic Director for Finance to approve grants for the decarbonisation and retrofitting of Hammersmith and Fulham stock. The reason for this is many of the grants that we've been getting from for instance, the public sector decarbonisation scheme and the Salix grants are very time limited. And by the time we get through the standard procurement process, we're well into the process of getting the works done. And if the works aren't done on time or completed within the timescale specified, then we either don't get the grant or they ask for it to be clawed back. So this is really a means of smoothing through the process and making sure we get the most out of the funds that the climate team are working so hard in terms of fundraising for.
Excellent. Are there any questions of that? Well, I think we're all in favour of expediency. So can I ask if is that agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Revenue budget, item number 5. Over to you, Councillor Ree.
Thank you very much. This is the CRM month 9 report, a regular snapshot of our spending in the revenue budget. This one is looking at the period just at the turn of the year. Obviously, the financial year is now over and the final figures are being reviewed and analysed. At month 9, we had pressures of 1.5 million, but with mitigations and contingencies in place. We run a ruthlessly financially efficient council, and all effort is made across the council to make sure that money is spent in the best value for money for residents.
Excellent. Any questions on that?
My concerns about my housing as I call it, my housing revenue account. It's everybody's housing revenue account. Particularly now, I haven't fully researched it, but I understand there's much larger pressures coming this year on the homelessness. And what impact will that have on both the general fund and the housing revenue account? And what contingencies have we made for it?
Thank you very much. Yeah, as part of the current year's budget setting process, we've allocated an extra £1.5 million for housing solutions, which will help to combat the increase in homelessness demand. This comes out of the general revenue budget rather than the housing revenue budget. So luckily, the HRA is protected in that sense.
still, if I may, can just ask, are you still confident? I know you've assured me you're confident that everything is going to balance this year in the HRA, and the final balances are going to be as you predicted.
Yeah, I've met with officers, in fact, just this afternoon, and was raising this question again. I'm confident that we're in a good position with the HRA. Obviously, over the last few years, there's been an increase in expenditure to pay for things that you and I both agree need to be paid for. We want to make sure that the HRA is on a sustainable footing for the future, and I'm confident that it is.
Are you going to keep on assuring me that we're not going to have to draw down on our reserves anymore?
Absolutely, that's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, I would just say to Councillor Alford, it is no surprise to anybody that we have had some 14 years of austerity. And as you know, from when you were in office, most of our funding comes from central government, and that has been slashed. So to a large degree, what councils have been doing all around the country is trying to manage often doing more for less. And it is great tribute to not just Councillor Marie, but also to Councillor Ume, that and the officers that serve them, that they've managed to not just confidently give us balanced budgets each year, but they've also managed to invest significant amounts of capital into refurbishing homes across the borough. To say it's easy, to say it's confident going forward, I understand why you're asking the questions, but I would just stress the best thing we can have would be a very different approach to national government funding. I hope we can have some consensus around that.
No, but it still might obviously be concerned. And I'm always concerned. It's a thing that we don't know that's going to happen that hits us, not the things that we can predict.
Yes. Well, I hate to quote Donald Rumsfeld because I was never much taken with him, but I think Councillor Ree is definitely on top of the unknown knowns, and is that right way around? And he's so good that I'm absolutely confident that he's working on the unknown unknowns as well.
Thank you.
So, but it's not easy. Okay, with that warning buzzing in our heads, can I ask, is everyone happy to agree with that paper? Yeah, agreed. Excellent, thank you. Then we move on to item number 6, procurement strategy for the London Cleaner housing, for the strategy for the housing cleaning services contract. And over to you, Councillor Ume.
Thank you, Leader. So yes, this report seeks approval from Cabinet for the reprocurement of a borough-wide cleaning service to ensure that our estates and all shared external as well as internal communal areas are kept clean and safe and tidy for all residents. In essence, this is a reprocurement because of changes in the housing landscape. So we all know that we have a new Social Housing Act and regulation that's in place. And so this procurement document really reflects those changes to ensure that actually we're providing a service that meets the needs of the community, the neighbourhood, that takes on board the new tenant satisfaction measures, as well as ensuring that our services are realigned to deliver the service effectively. So the reprocurement will last up to 5 years with a period of extension for 2 years from next May 2025.
Great. Are there any questions? No. In which case, is that paper agreed? Excellent. That takes us to item number 7, forward plan. Is that noted? And I think that brings us to the end of the meeting. So I wish you all a happy rest of April.